funnels are the future. Websites are dead. ClickFunnels are it. I'm like, it was the first one. We launched that on May 17th. And 57 days later, it had done $1.2 million in sales.
So ClickFunnels just announced 30 days free trial instead of 14 days. So if you wanted to master the concept of funnels and if you wanted to learn how to build $1 million funnel, so this is the best chance for you. This offer is only available for 31st January 2022. So I put the link below the description. Go and check it out. Guys, I'm back again after a few weeks, and this time I'm back with one of the big guests. So, first of all, welcome to the Entrepreneur Warrior Show, hosted by me, Nilesh Jain. That is where we interview entrepreneur, affiliate marketer, coach, and consultant. And in this amazing interview series, today we have an amazing guest. He's a diehard fan of ClickFunnels, and he won multiple time 2 Comma Club award, and recently he also won one more. He also have one more 2cc award with a box with him, and multi 8-figure award winner as well. He is a coach, consultant, founder of Banek Digital, and his funnel made $1.2 million in just 57 days. So, without further wasting your time, I'm inviting Mr. Jeffery M Banek on the show. So, hello, Jeffrey.
What's
Thank
up,
you
man?
for join me, my show.
No worries, man. Thanks for having me on.
I'm so grateful for to have you on my show. So, guys, if you are with us live, put hashtag live or a replay on. Put hashtag replay and show your love to Jeffrey. So, how are you, Jeffrey? First of all.
I'm amazing, man. I'm amazing. I know we want to talk about funnels, but yeah, dude, I've had a crazy ride the last 4 years. I went from
Yes.
being like a personal trainer to having ClickFunnels. So like you
Multiple.
said, I even got another award right here that I got to
Wow.
open up that I haven't. That's going to go in the middle there. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a crazy ride, man. I'm very blessed,
Super,
and
super.
then I have nice people like you reaching out asking me to be on the show. So.
I'm so grateful for that particular thing, and congratulations for again one more 2cc award win. And so, can you show your tattoo on your
Sure,
hand
man.
to my audience?
So
And
yeah, so here's the
you,
thing about this too. Before anybody says, "Oh, he's got a funnel hacker award," he's got these 2 commas, he's got all this stuff. I got this tattoo before I ever got my first 2 comma award. I got this. Well, it'll be 5 years ago this April. And when I got it, I didn't realize I did this. You know those Facebook memories that pop up where it's like, oh, 3 years
yeah,
ago,
yes,
this
yes, yes.
post. So this memory popped up just the other day where I actually called out Russell Brunson, and I have a post that says, remember this from like 4.5 years ago. It's like, Russell Brunson, know my name. And then I got this tattoo as like a commitment to myself that I would go all in on ClickFunnels and being an entrepreneur and funnels. And luckily I
Wow.
did well rather than not. And because if I hadn't done well, I'd be a weirdo with a ClickFunnels tattoo, right?
You put your goal in front of your eyes every single day, so you are able to watch it, right?
Right. No,
So
that was it. That was my thing. I'm like, it was sort of weird driving
yes.
force. It's like, I've got to succeed or people are going to look at me funny because I'll have a tattoo and just be some random dude. So yeah, it definitely was putting my goal in front of me, and it was all in commitment. It was like I had no other option but to succeed.
Wow, wow. So, before we start, could you share your tell us about your little bit backstory and how you started and the how the funnel
Sure.
dog name is come up, as
Sure,
people
man.
know you funnel dog as well.
So first of all, the doc part, a lot of people don't know this. I graduated high school June 6th. And June 9th, I was in boot camp standing tall. I was in the military. I did 4 years in the military. I was a medic with Second Force Recon in the military. So that's sort of where the doc part came from later on. But how I got into this is I was actually studying sales in the personal training world. I wanted to learn how to market myself online and how to do sales so that I could be a personal trainer and have my own online personal training business. So one of my mentors, one of these days, Bedros Koulian was his name, holds up this book from some random dude, Russell Brunson, called .com Secrets. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but hey, if your mentor tells you to read it, you read it, right? That's why you got him as a mentor. So I'll never forget it, man. When I first read .com Secrets, it's like when Neo could see the Matrix for the first time and you could see all the O's and the ones and everything. That's how it felt, is like upsells, funnels, webinars, SLOs. It all made sense all of a sudden. And I'm just like, all the sales training I've been learning, trying to figure out how to move online and how to be an online personal trainer made sense. And all of a sudden I saw this vision. I'm like, forget personal training. I'm like, this guy, Russell Brunson, funnels are the future. Websites are dead. Clickfunnels are it. I'm like, this is it. This is everything I've been searching for is right here in this Clickfunnels thingamajigger that I didn't really know what it was, but .com Secrets was leading the way, you know? So I read Expert Secrets, and then I got the tattoo, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go all in. So I just figured out the best way to learn something is when you can teach others, you yourself are a master. You know, like when you can do it yourself, that's one thing. But when you can do it yourself and show other people, you've really mastered a trait. So I'm like, I'm going to learn everything there is about ClickFunnels. So I went in the ClickFunnels group, and at that time there was 32,000 people when it first started. Now it's up to like 280, I think 280,000 or something crazy. It's huge now.
Yeah, around 200.
Yeah, right. It's huge. So it was at 32,000, and I was just in there all day long. I was helping people at ClickFunnels. They had answer questions. I'd jump on Zooms. If they didn't know, I'd research YouTube, whatever it took, I would find out the answer. Plus, I was maxing out all of our credit cards this time. I was buying every course I could find, like Dan Henry's Facebook ads course. I was one of his first students in that way back in the day, like in 2018 when he first launched his Facebook ads course. I bought all of Ryan Dice's certifications from digital marketers so I could learn all that stuff. I just like everything I could. I'd fall asleep literally watching videos, wake up and hit the button again and start watching it again and take it, because I saw the future of what the potential was for funnels and digital marketing too. It was just really starting to take off like 4 years ago, 5 years ago now. And so I go all in. I am in the group all the time. The group grows up to about 72,000. And this is when Facebook, for the first time ever, announces the top 10 contributors to the group. You know, have you ever seen that feature in your group? So they announced the top 10 contributors. Out of 72,000 people, I was the second highest contributor. No, I wasn't number one. I'm not going to hype the story up. It says number one. I was number two, but still out of 72,000, that's pretty amazing, I thought. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out this like ClickFunnels game. At that time, I was married. Unfortunately, I'm divorced now, but I was married during this time. And things got really bad. My wife had lost her job. She was providing a lot of the money. I was doing things on the side, but like I said, we were maxing out credit cards. We were really, like most people, paycheck to paycheck. You know what I mean? Like that's, most people live paycheck to paycheck. And all of a sudden we lost our stable income, and it got really, really bad. It got so bad we had to pawn my wife's ring at this one point just to be able to pay rent. And then all of a sudden one day out of nowhere, some dude, Kevin David, I don't know. Do you know Kevin? Do you know who Kevin David is? Yeah, so I didn't know who he was. Yeah, he was sort of a nobody back then. He had like his biggest video maybe had like 200,000 views. Like one of them went viral, and that was like, don't be wrong, 200,000 is a ton. I don't have 200,000, but like it's not millions like it is now. Anyway, all of a sudden he posted in the ClickFunnels group, I need help with my funnels, and everybody just starts tagging me because I've been helping everybody and providing so much value. Reciprocity kicked in, and they were just like, dude, this is the guy. You need to talk to him. So I talked to Kevin. We come to a deal. He pays me for the first funnel. He paid me $6,000. And at that point, mind you, 6,000 is still a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. Later on, we wind up charging 40,000 for funnels, but this is way later. But anyway, and I will never forget it. When I got it, I went to my wife at the time. I was like, baby, we're rich. I'm paying out. You're getting your ring out of pawn. We're paying up all the bills. We're going out to dinner at Red Lobster, baby. Let's go. It was such an amazing time. I felt like it literally that I'd been kissed on the forehead by God. You know, whether you believe whatever you believe, I felt like I'd been immensely blessed. You know. So I built out Kevin's entire ecosystem, his funnels, his messenger bots, his email, everything but the actual webinar and the course Kevin made himself. And that one went to, yeah, that guy right there was the first one. We launched that on May 17th. And 57 days later, it had done $1.2 million in sales, which at that point was the fastest anybody hit a million. Now people like have hit millions in like minutes. They like prep everything, they launch, and like 5 minutes later, like 3 million, you know, which is, you know, awesome. But so we hit the 57 million. It was amazing. They decided to, this was right in 2018 when Russell decided to launch a viral video event where he was going to make this squirrel and this gold miner. And he hired the Harmon brothers, the people that did the Squatty Potty and the what is the unicorn that poops out rainbows? I don't know if you ever saw that viral video, but he hired these people and he brought in Gary Vee and all these top influencers, and he was going to make this viral event. Well, they invited Kevin, and Kevin being the amazing dude he is like, I'm not going unless Jeffs can go. So I'm like, sweet. So we go to this thing. That's where this came from, where we set the world record for the largest ever human bubble soccer. So I'm actually in the Guinness Book World Records because of Clickfunnels, which that's one of my favorite stories to tell. And taking pictures with Gary, all that type of stuff. It was amazing. And this is where I started getting recognized as a funnel builder because of Kevin again, because it was Kevin's funnel. He got all the money. I didn't get all the money, millions from it, you know. But I built it. So Kevin, being an amazing dude, wanted to make sure I got recognized for it. We launched this second one over here, which is the first one is for a Facebook Amazon, how to do Facebook Amazon FBA course, which is fulfillment by Amazon. And that was for Shopify. That one only did like 4 or 5 million. The first one went on to do, it's like 20 million or more now. It went on. I'll never forget. I was going on the podcast Mixergy with Andrew Warner. I'm not sure if you know who he is or not, but it is a entrepreneur podcast that I've been listening to for years. And I just thought this was so cool that all of a sudden I'm going on the podcast and I get this call from Kevin and he's like, hey, Jeff, we did it. And I'm like, what's up, Kev? What do we do? He's like, we did it. I'm like, what do we do, Kev? This is great. He's like, we hit 10 million because I wasn't tracking it. He was just, you know, I just built it and maintained it. And right before I go on Andrew Warner's Mixergy, I find out that this funnel in under 18 months had done $10 million in sales. So, yeah, so I wind up launching an agency. The agency winds up a funnel building agency, digital marketing agency. Agency winds up blowing up. We do like 180,000 our first year in sales for actual business sales. All the funnels that we created during that time wind up going on and doing like 41.7 million, including this other funnel that I've got right here. This one we launched and we did $844,000 in sales in 7 days. It went on to do like just a couple million. It wasn't as big as Kevin's.
Super.
Yeah. So, and then I went into coaching, as you said, I was coaching. So I started coaching, teaching people how to create ecosystems like I've done for all my clients. And I did really well. I enjoyed it. I made good money. I helped a lot of my coaching clients. My last 8 clients all hit 10K within 30 days. And 4 of those clients wind up going to do 100K within 80 to 120 days within that time frame. So, and actually, I just spoke with one of them just yesterday, and she is going to do over 300. She'll do 400,000 this year. Last year, she did 32K. And she's going to do 400,000 this year. So, and that's her hard work. I just gave her the guidance. You know, they do the work. And so, yeah. And then I know you want to talk about funnels, but then now I got into NFTs. I had one of my coaching clients wanted me to help them with NFTs. I started learning about them in crypto, and I said, forget this coaching, forget funnels. This is the future now. And that's what I've been doing. NFTs, metaverse, all that type of stuff. So that's sort of where we are today, my friend.
Awesome. So you started with the .com secret, and if I talk, so my first book that I read in my entire life, with more deeply, is dot com secret. The first ever book that I read was dot com secret. Super book we have. So, and you mentioned like your funnels are generated millions of dollars. So, uh, uh, what is the one strategy you use? Your so that is why your funnel is generated that much of revenue. What kind of strategies framework you used to building a funnels? So.
Sure, sure. One of the number one things why my funnels were so successful is I'd had all that sales training before, so I understood how a person's mindset and how the customer journey works, where you take somebody from where they know nothing about your product, and by the time they get done, they're like a raving fan. So, how does that education process go? Normally in the sales, I ask you questions, we go back and forth. I'm like, well, how can I do that, but in a funnel? So that's sort of what my advantage was. And then just understanding the actual process that each person going through, it's not a number, it's a person. So how do people buy? People buy emotionally first, and then logically they fulfill and make their sales purchase, they make it make sense. You know what I mean? So you have to do that first. You have to hit them on emotional. You have to get them pumped up, and then at the end, you hit them with the stats and the facts. So they're like, oh, now it makes sense. I'm all pumped up, but it makes sense. 50% of this, blah, blah, blah. On the simplest level.
Right. People buy from emotion and then they try to convert it in the logical form, right? Super. Guys, Jeffrey is sharing tons of golden nuggets, so try to make sure you take a notes because this is the golden nugget that you are getting. So
Right. So one
you
sec. I'll
just
talk about that one sec. So
yes, 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 yes.
realize this: if when someone buys from you, and I'm telling my friends, I'm talking to you, and I'm like, hey, I just bought this cool thing, and I can convince you that it's a good purchase, I'm gonna have buyer's remorse, and I'll refund it, or it's these other people that will say, oh, I need my money back, I changed my mind. You have to be able to hit them logically, and that's where the logic. Because if I can come to you and be like, oh, the reason why I bought it is not because I was pumped up and all excited and the video was cool and this made sense. And he told me about the story, and people can't understand that because you can't put them in the emotional state that you were in when you bought. You have to be able to feel the logic, and that's where the stats and all the different testimonials and case studies and all the logic comes in. Because if I can tell my friend Bob or whoever, look, there's all these people that are successful. Here's all the logic. They're like, oh, okay. So then I'm cool. So then it's a good product. So realize emotion, then logic. And the reason why is because you've got to make sure that they're able to make sure that their emotional purchase makes sense to both themselves and their friends. Because realize a lot of times when people buy, they buy for status as well. So, hey, I got this because now I have it. It makes me cooler. But if all of a sudden I bought it and status is dropped, what happens? So
True,
anyway, there you go.
true. Like this is a real thing. Like people see status as well. Like if I purchase this particular product, does it increase my status or not? So this
Right.
is a great point. Great point.
100%. I mean, think
Yeah.
about most of the things you buy that aren't like food or things you have to have.
Mhm.
A lot of times you're buying it because of stat. Look at the NFTs, especially status. Like, why are
Yeah.
CryptoPunks worth $100,000? It's a stats, it's a clout thing. Why are Lambos? It's a status, it's a clout thing. You know what I mean? So,
Yes, yes, yes,
reward.
definitely.
It's a clout thing. So, but yeah, everybody
Micro
wants.
value.
But yeah, that's the thing. When you realize there's certain things when people buy, and status is one that a lot of people don't think about. But that's why when you make your sales page, you have to have a shift of them from alone to in a group. Like, here's the group that's bought it, and this group's cool. Don't you want to be part of this group over here that's bought? And, oh yeah, I want to be part of that group because status. So
Super, super. So you mentioned like your client is generated 5 figure and 6 figure, and recently you mentioned like your one of the client is going to generate $400,000. Uh,
right.
so what is the one strategy, thing that you are going to teach them, or what is the one thing that you are teach them so that are because of that they are able to generate that much of revenue?
Right. So a lot of times people try and do too many products at one time. Most of the time, especially in coaching, if you're charging 5 to 10,000 for something, which is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but if you're doing 5 to 10,000, that is enough to be able to get to $1 million. Even $1,000, even 997 is enough. You sell 1,000 of them, you've done $1 million. And that's what most people's goal is. I want to do $1 million in sales. I'm sure that's probably one of your goals, right, my friend?
Yeah.
Exactly. So when we're thinking of it that way, your goal is to get to that million. So it doesn't matter how you do it, but you don't want to start. But the biggest thing people start doing is they're like, oh, now I'm going to make a self-liquidating offer, or I'm going to make a up sales or down sales or all that. First, focus on your primary product. If your product is $1,000 or more, you can make $1 million just with that alone. Don't get distracted by anything else. That's what so many people, and I call them not shiny objects. I call them shiny opportunities. Because think about this, a lot of times on your journey, you might have this opportunity where you can make some money. You might make 20 grand, 30 grand. That's a lot of money. But is it really your number one thing that's going to help you get to your goal? Or is it just sort of like an opportunity that distracts you off to the side? You know what I mean? Like, so for instance, let's say my goal is coaching and I have a $5,000 program. I need to sell, what's that? 2,000 or 200 of them. I need to sell 200 of them to hit $1 million. So realistically, my number one goal is how quickly can I hit that 200, right? Because that gets me the $1 million.
Right.
Every time I focus on anything else that's not part of that or getting that goal, it slows me down or gets even totally distracted. Because think about this. If you work on two things, here's 1 and 2, and I work on them equally, each one can only get 50% of my time. What's better, 50% or 100%? Think about that, right?
Yes, definitely.
Right. So that's the thing. Stay focused. That's the biggest number one thing that takes my clients. Right. Sorry, that was probably a big segue to get to the focus part. But yeah, that's all that. Focus on your primary product. Don't try and just make that good. Sell the crap out of it. Make your first, and then start building out your ecosystem and everything around it. Like, you definitely need like email follow-up, all that stuff, but don't start adding in new products yet. That's the other thing people, and that's what I'm talking about. Far too often people they'll make 100 grand, 200 grand, all of a sudden they're like, I'm going to make another product now. No, stay focused on here. This is working. You've already made 200 grand. Let's get you to $1 million. And that's a lot of the biggest steps that I've been able to take my clients is get them focused, working on that one product and everything around it to make it $1 million product. The emails, the messenger bot, the sales team, the appointment setters, depending on what level the product is, of course. So hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah. Definitely it does make sense. Like crazy value bomb. Guys, show your love to the Jeffrey because he's sharing tons of golden nuggets. So you are what is your suggestion to the new funnel builder who are struggling to generate their first client or to generate their first 10,000 or $100,000 with their funnel? So how they get that much amount of clients? So what is your suggestion to them, newbies funnel builders?
So, sorry, answer that. Ask that again. What is it you want?
What is your suggestion to the new funnel builders who are struggling for they're getting their first client or
Okay.
their high ticket clients to getting their high ticket clients?
Right. Okay. So you hear it all the time, and the people are like, "Oh, like do your first funnel for free or something." Don't do your funnel for free. All right. No one values free, dude. When was the last time you got something for free and you're like, "Woo, it's free thing. I'm gonna save this at price. This is the best thing." No one values free. They're like, "Thank you." They'll eat it or whatever and leave it. And like, so do not give free away because here's the deal: one of the hardest things is going from free to even going to a couple grand. If all of a sudden you're like, oh, free. And then next month you're like, it's 2,000. They're like, it was free last month. Why is it 2,000? So at the very least, let's say that your services are $2,000 a month as a funnel builder, and maybe, an agency or whatever you're doing. Let's just say $2,000 a month. The very least is cut it in half. Hey, I'm doing a one-time half off for this month only, so you can test out my services. at $1,000. Next month there'll be $2,000, but I really want to work with you. I see potential in you as a client. So rather than us not working at all, I'm going to give you a discount of half off your first month so we can work together. Something like that. Don't give your services away for free. Make sure you always charge something, no matter what. That's one of the biggest mistakes
Definitely.
people make. Go ahead.
We can charge it testimonial because it is a kind of social currency. You are right.
Okay, so that is another one
Hmm.
that people all the time, they're like, no, I'm going to charge. They don't do the testimonial. You know how many times, like, dude, it's such a pain. And
Yes.
here's the thing, like, your version of what the testimonial should be like in their version, if you try and write a script and they never works. I can literally name on maybe one hand the amount of times and people that exchange has worked. Plus, it's almost free. Like, what's a testimonial to them? I can, like, 30 seconds on, like, it's not. So you need to charge. Testimonials not enough. You need to charge and get the testimonials, what you need to do.
Okay. Awesome.
Because
Awesome.
realize this, if I come to you right now and I pull up in a Lamborghini, I'm like, hey man, I'm going to sell you this Lamborghini $5,000. What's the first thing you're going to think? Like, what is it stolen? What's wrong with it? Why are you selling me a Lamborghini for $5,000? Right? Same thing with your services. How are you going to discount them for a testimonial and then ask them next month for $2,000?
Great point. Awesome.
Right.
Guys, this is a golden nugget. Value bomb. Mic drop. So
Right.
many crazy. Super
So,
word.
yeah, so do
Hmm.
something like that. Also, make sure if you're just starting out as a funnel builder, um, build out several different models. Like, okay, most of your people they're doing like a funnel agency or an ad agency. What are that? What are they
Yes.
doing? What is their actual business?
Funnel building and yeah. Organic funnel. Yeah. Funnel builders.
So more of a funnel bit, not like ads. It's mainly all funnel stuff, right?
Yes, sure. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, um, one of the things I did, now this is when I was here in Vegas. If you want to go locally, you can actually do this. So you'll make like a landing page, right? Like everybody in your audience under like a landing page or a funnel with a very simple opt-in. Whatever it is, like, so say there's a restaurant, right? Say enter your name and email below to get 50% off at this restaurant. Pre-make the funnel, very simple opt-in, name and logo at the top. That's it, because it's an opt-in. It doesn't need a lot about them. Opt-in, right? And you just go to each of the restaurants and you can go to the person, set up a meeting with the manager, show them your funnel opt-in and explain to them once you get the name and emails how you can retarget them for other type of ads and things or other type of offers and get them back in the door and create a campaign that way. And the cool thing, if you do it, it's a very simple opt-in. You can literally go to every business in like a shopping mall area and just change out the logo. You can keep this and change out the colors to match their scheme. You do something really easy
Uh,
like that. The problem with funnel building, you have to be aggressive now on getting your clients. But the biggest mistake is people try to cold market. Like they'll just be like, I'm gonna send out a bunch of mass messenger emails, or I'm gonna go in a group and I'm gonna just whoever looks like they could be a client, I'm gonna click on their name and I'm gonna message them and just say, hey, look, my name is whatever, and here's my services. What do you say? That shit never works. Excuse my language, never works. Okay, and if it ever does, yeah, it's not the way to go. Don't go cold. You need to build rapport with people. You need to understand who they are. Why are they a good potential client? The chances that that person doesn't, first of all, still doesn't understand funnels. Most businesses still don't understand funnels. So you're going to have to
yes.
explain what a funnel is to them, how that works, everything like that. So don't cold market to people. Try and go to areas that you know have your dream customer. And that's another thing. Um, Too many people are like, oh, I'm going to build funnels. I'm going to build funnels for everybody. No, you need to niche down. Niche down. If you can say, "Oh, I build funnels for I don't know why anything's not coming to mind right now, but maybe it's YouTube ad agencies, or maybe I build funnels for e-com
Coaches for
businesses
coaches.
or coaches." Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, perfect. That's a great example. Perfect. Great job. Maybe I build them for coaches or consultants or something like, or another one, like maybe I do funnels just for courses, like, I mean,
Yes, yes, yes.
right. But become good at that and then become the go-to person for coaches or courses for funnels. That way they see you, because if not, you're just wading through this sea of everybody else. And it's like, how do you make yourself known? Well, that's how you make yourself known. Become a specialist at something. Don't just be the funnel builder, because everybody's the funnel builder. Be the funnel builder that does coaches or whatever, but become good at that. I guarantee you right now, there's a niche that maybe it's for NFTs or something, or crypto or something. There's niches right now that are blowing up that need people to build funnels for them. Specialize in those.
Yeah. Be an specialized like a funnel doc. Like he is a funnel doctor. So be an specialized doctor in any
Right.
niche, right?
Yeah, it was funny when I came up with that. I was like, well, I had my funnel agency. I'm like, if your funnels are sick, I'm the doctor. I can make them better. I can make, the funnel doc. But I'll never forget
Yeah.
when I wore that for the first time at Funnel Hacking Live. I didn't know if people were going to make fun of me or what, because the very first time I wore it out to public was Funnel Hacking Live. And there was, at that time, I think there was only 3,000 people, but still 3,000 people. And they're like, they could be either who's the goofy dude in the lab coat, or, hey, that's sort of cool. What's up with that? And luckily people thought it was sort of cool rather than me being the goofy dude. But it was one of the biggest things I ever did for branding. It blew up. People still this day, I had a guy just the other day, man, messaged me. It was so cool. And he was like, man, I'm following you, the NFTs, I'm following you crypto, and you're amazing. He's like, but I'm be honest with you. He's like, I missed the funnel doc. And I just thought that was the coolest thing, so yeah, but that was a hard choice. That was a really, really hard choice to stop that brand. But I couldn't see the transition because there was so much attached to the Funnel Doc brand with funnels and Clickfunnels and all that really isn't part of my journey anymore. Sure, I'll always love Clickfunnels, and I'll probably see if I can get another 2 comma again through NFTs or whatever. But that part of my journey is like sort of is over. You know what I mean? Like, I don't build funnels anymore. Like, I hire people to build funnels for me if I need them or anything, but I don't build funnels anymore. You know what I mean? So yeah. But anyway, some of the other things for
Yeah.
people when they're building funnels, you have to know your target avatar, your who is your dream customer. Again, like I was saying, narrow it down. But what is their pain points? That's another big one that people, when they're building, is why are they coming to your product? Why do they want to buy your product? What about their product? Your product will make their life better. If they're not in pain from something, it's not like physical, like, oh, my arm's messed up or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, if it's not something like whatever it is, maybe you're trying to teach them how to get a 6-pack abs or whatever, or you're doing like, maybe you're selling your funnel services. What if you're selling your funnel services? What pain is this person in that your funnel is going to make better? If you can't tell them that, they're not going to buy crap from you, man. You know what I mean? Like, realize people will pay to get out of pain, depending on how much it hurts. You know what I mean? And think about this: if I have a headache, it can be just a headache where I'll pay a couple dollars to get a Tylenol or whatever. But what if that headache is actually cancer? How much would I pay at that point to get rid of it?
Any not a fixed number,
Right,
because it's
exactly. Right. So
my
how much
I
is
want to
the
save my
pain?
life.
Right. So how much is the pain that your product is solving? Not to make light of cancer or anything like that, but it's saying when you're building your funnel, you have to put their pain in there, man, because if you can get them to go, oh man, yeah, that hurts. And then walk them through the journey of what it's going to be like once you've taken that pain away, because that's what a good funnel does, is it gets them to go, oh, dude, that sucks. Oh, I feel that. Oh, that happens all the time. Oh yeah, that's why I'm here, man, because that right there. And then you can go like, but check it out. With my product, I'm going to show you how. Oh, at the end, I'm going to have that. And it's called future pacing is what this is where you walk them from where they are now in their crappiness to the great state of where they're over here, and everything's better because they bought your stuff. And if you don't walk them through that journey, there's no way they're going to buy, because you can have the best product, but if you can't explain how your product's going to solve their pain, they're never going to buy from you. Never.
Definitely, definitely. Like pain to pleasure. This is the golden keyword. So this is the great thing. So in our journey, like when we started, we have a different challenges. While we achieving some 5 figure, 6 figure, we have different challenges. Now you are 8 figure person. So what kind of challenges you are facing in your journey at the moment after achieving 8 figure? Because everyone have kind of challenges. So what kind of challenges you have?
So I'll definitely answer that question. But the first thing I want to talk about, we always talk about getting to millions, which is a great, great, great thing. But what I want everybody first thinking of is, how do I get to 10,000 a month? And then start going up to, how do I get to 100,000 to a million? Because here's the deal. So many of us on the journey to a million get so fixated on this million that they forget, I have to make 10,000 consistently a month before I'll ever get close to a million. And then 20, and then 30, and then 50, and then 100. And then you can start thinking about millions. But until you've got that, you can dream about it, use it to get you, be passionate about it, but don't fixate on that. Fixate first on the smaller number. How can I get to 10,000 a month? What steps? Backtrace it. Okay, if you need to get, maybe you're charging $2,000 a month for a funnel client, so you want to get 5 funnel clients. Cool. How many people do I need to see a month to get 5 sales? Okay, well, normally I'll close maybe 1 out of 5 people. So then if I need to see 5 people to get 1 sale, I need 25 appointments. How am I going to schedule 25 appointments? Work that way. Work backwards versus just, I'm going to get a million or 100,000 or whatever your goal is. Make it monthly and then break it down step by step, because the smaller you can make it, the easier it gets. Because think about that. We just said, okay, 25 clients, we'll say right there. Well, if we divide that by 4, 25 by 4 is what? 6 times 4 is 24. So we'll just say 6. We'll say 6. So you need now six clients a week. So 1 a day. Do you think you could set up to get 1 appointment a day? That's not that hard, right? I mean, like, really, we're not asking 3 or 4. We just need 1 appointment a day.
Definitely, definitely.
And that's not even 7 days a week. So you could technically do 2 appointments in 1 day and only work a couple days a week, technically. But see what I mean? When you start breaking down smaller and smaller, it makes it more manageable versus going, I'm going to make $10,000 this month. Especially if you've never done it before. If you've never done it before, It's like you need to set up a path or a pattern to get you there. Don't just say it out loud. That's step number 1. Step number 1 is just announcing you want to win it. You got what you want to do. What are the steps it's going to take you to get there? Maybe 10,000 is too much. Start at 5,000. Whatever it is, but set a monthly goal, break down the steps you need to get there, and then set your day all the way down to daily goals. What is your daily goal to be able to get to that monthly goal? So.
Awesome, awesome. We have some questions in the comment section, so you can
Sure.
what are your suggestions to start a funnel building agency?
Okay, so starting a funnel building agency right now, I would probably, to be honest, let's see here. It would depend. Starting just a funnel agency itself is a little tough because it's such a small funnels are a small component of the whole thing. You know what I mean? I would say right now the easiest thing would be making yourself a portfolio of like 2 to 3 or 4 different funnels and going and hitting people up that you're a target avatar. Like I said, you got to really figure out who is your dream customer, who do you want to work with, why do they need funnels, and you have to be able to demonstrate to them the need. That's still the problem with businesses. A lot of businesses don't understand funnels. They understand websites. So that's the number 1 thing is you first have to explain to them why websites suck. That's like the very first thing. Why are websites not good? Oh, because you can't track your leads. You can't retarget, all this stuff. And then you have to explain why a funnel solve all that problem, and then they can become a potential customer. So one of the first things I would do is probably work on making some type of a slide deck where you can do a presentation to someone repeatedly, the same one that you can make better and better, walking through people, first of all, why funnels suck and why websites suck and why they need a funnel. Like, number one, I'd go to whatever your potential customer is like, do you have a website? Like, sure, I got a website. How much money did it make for you last month? Most people can't track that, or don't have, and that's the good thing about a
Yes.
funnel. That's, one of the differences is you can't track leads from sales usually, or things like that, or you don't know your numbers. Explain that, explain the need to build an email list so that you can nurture it and earn $1 per email is the standard for email. So if you have a 10,000 person email list, you should be making 10 grand a month just from your email list, so these are the type of things I think email and funnels go hand in hand. So if you're doing a funnel agency and you don't know email that well, that might be the other thing I would say is learn just the basics, because the nurturing that you need from an email helps so much. A lot of people don't realize this. It takes a minimum 7 touch points before someone will buy from you. That means they have to have seen your product or want your thing and see it 7 times before they buy. So what happens is the first time they get to your funnel is time number 3. They've still got 4 more times before they're going to buy from you. That's where email and follow up and ads and different things come into play. So
Wow. Really crazy thing, like dream customers and so many golden nuggets. I hope, Ravi, you got your answer. And one more question. We have a lot of questions. Like, what is the main point while building a funnels?
So what is the main point while building a funnel? I sort of covered that. I think the main point is you need to have you need to understand the customer journey of knowing nothing about your product, to where when they're done with your funnel, they should be like so excited they want to call their mom and tell them, hey, that's the coolest thing ever. If they're not that excited, if you're not that excited by the time you get done with it, you're probably not focused enough on your pain points.
Super, guys. A lot of golden nuggets. So, if you still have any query, you can put in the comment section. So, what is the one mistake have you made in your journey? Like, so you are suggest to others so they avoid it. Any
Dude,
mistake?
so many mistakes, man. Like, you don't
Yeah.
even realize so many mistakes. So the first thing I would say is, if you're building an agency and it's not just you, um, always put everything in writing, no matter how much of a good friend it is or anything like that. Always put it in writing, and define what you expect from them as employee, because that was one of the biggest things. I would hire people and I wouldn't like outline exactly step by step what I wanted from them, and they wouldn't know sometimes what exactly their job is. So always make sure that you're very clear with your employees when you're starting to grow. And usually I wouldn't like hire an employee until you get to around $10,000 a month. Once you start doing about 10K a month, usually the first is some type of a virtual assistant or VA or something like that, that's going to take small tasks off your plate so you can focus on making more money. Because a lot of that time, that's what stops people from getting past 10K is they're doing all these little minor tasks that they should be pushing off to someone else, and they're not making sales calls. They're not booking more sales calls. Where once you get to start getting to about 10,000 a month, that should be some of the number one things: is how many sales calls am I booking a month, and how many sales calls am I closing a month?
Yep. Superb. Guys, tons of golden nuggets from Jeffrey, and we are here for a few more minutes. So, if you still have any queries, you can put your questions in the comment section. So, you also have this URL. Could you share about it?
So, you know what? You asked me another thing. I thought about this. Starting out, if you're a
Yeah.
good funnel builder and you feel like you can get sales, maybe do a rev share with someone. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Be like, hey, I'll build your
Hmm.
funnel out and give me a percentage of all the sales. I mean,
Yeah.
most
True.
it's no loss to them. They literally don't lose anything unless you sell something. So sometimes that's an idea, because again, you don't want to give it for free. but this way you will only get paid if it performs. So that's another idea I was thinking of, ways that you could potentially get new clients is be like, hey, look, I mean, and you're just starting out, so you got to go for whatever you can. Be like, hey, I'll build it out, we'll launch it, and then, do like 70-30 or 60-40 or whatever's reasonable. I don't know, whatever they'll take, but
Yes.
do some type of split where you get a percentage of every sale, royalties like Shark Tank. Kevin O'Leary, I'll take a royalty on it, or something like that,
Yes,
But
yes,
be
yes, got
creative, come up with something, but make it in their advantage, because starting out, until you get that one, like I did, that was lucky for me, mind you. It was like one of the very first funnels I built, knocked it out of the park. And mind you, I had several since then, but I was able to leverage that first one. Once Kevin was allowed me to go to that party and all that stuff, I was able to become the funnel doc and the guy to go to, where if you needed a funnel, you went to the funnel doc, So that's the thing. You got to get that win underneath your belt. And then once you get that win, you can start leveraging it, because, hey, look what I did for this person. But until you can say that, that's where the thing is. So, but don't give anything away for free.
over deliver with value. Over deliver with value, guys. Hashtag over deliver. Put hashtag over deliver.
So,
So, yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Another thing too, like, it gets hard out there, everybody. Like, we're entrepreneurs. Like, people don't understand the world we live in, and when we talk to our friends and other people, they don't understand this online thing that we're doing. It's become more and more because of COVID and stuff. People are starting to get entrepreneurship a little bit more, but it still can be a lonely world and stuff. But realize, um, don't compare yourself to other people. I know this is hard, even my own position, like we find ourselves, but don't do that, because it's not going to help you on this journey you're on. Only compare yourself to what you did yesterday. Hey, as long as you're doing better than you did yesterday, you're moving forward, you're improving, you're becoming a better you. And that's really what matters, because you can't compare yourself to someone, me, or anyone else like that, because you don't know all the problems and stuff that we went through to get to where we're at right now. So I think that's one of the biggest things that a lot of people on their journey is, we see ourselves and we're like comparing ourselves to other people. Why aren't there yet? Why didn't that happen yet? Everyone's journey is different. Your journey might take a little bit longer. It might be shorter. You don't know, but your journey is your journey. Don't compare yourself to other people, because it will give you nothing but sadness. I promise you. Because here's the deal. When you start comparing yourself, there's always going to be somebody that's done it better, faster, whatever, and then you'll start comparing to them. It's a never-ending cycle. So as you're growing as an entrepreneur, just realize you only need to be better than you were yesterday. That's it.
Definitely, definitely. Like, never ever have to compare with others. Like, I'm not able to compare myself with a person who is on chapter 10 or chapter 50. Superb.
Exactly.
Superb
Exactly.
point. Superb point. So, you also have this link. Could you share about it?
So yeah, my journey now has taken me where I'm all in. I do NFTs, I
Okay.
launch NFTs, do the metaverse, all that type of stuff. I have a training program that's a monthly training program called NFT Think Tank, where I talk about upcoming launches and the hot NFTs and passive income and all types of cool stuff. So if you guys are in NFTs, check it out. And if not, sweet. Hopefully I maybe gave you some inspiration today, or helped you out a little bit on your journey and your funnel dreams.
Superb. We have one more question. We take one more
Sure.
question and then, yeah. How?
So, on strategies, what funnel do you? Okay, so this is the thing. Like, don't try and get in this what funnel fits what where thing. You're gonna mess up. Don't do that. What is your client? What is their product? Build your funnel from that. Don't try and like, oh, I'm going to use this model template funnel as no, don't do that. Don't do that. No one, I can guarantee you, no one's ever used a template and made $1 million off a template. It just never happened. Like, so learn how to build from scratch. Like, what is your client's product? What problem does your client's product solve? Who's in pain that this problem that your client's product solve will benefit from? What message do they need to hear so that they understand their pain, so they realize that your client's product problem is going to solve it? And that's the funnel. Like, really, that's it. Start
Yeah.
attention grabbing headline. It's star story. It's like Russell's star story solution, or was it hook story offer. All right. It's literally design your funnels the same way. You need a headline that's going to hook their attention, because if they don't grab that, they're sure as hell not going to read any lower. So that's the first thing. You got to start with a headline. What's going to grab their attention, make them go, oh, I need to read this or listen to this video or whatever. I need to figure out about this because this is good stuff. If it doesn't say that, your funnel sucks right off the bat. I don't care how cool, anything else below it, no one's ever going to get down there. Just realize, headline, number one thing you have to think about. So next, what is the story that involves their pain point, their customer journey, that's going to get them interested? A lot of times you can realize your dream customer is where you were a couple steps back. You know what I mean? So right. So what pain were you in a couple steps back? That's probably the pain because they don't know what you know, and that's why they need to buy from you, right? True. So that is how the funnel is designed. It goes headline, it's going to grab their attention so they want to know more. Okay, what was the story of where I was that I wanted to be solved, that I can tell them that they're going to identify with, that's going to talk about their pain. It's going to talk about how I've discovered the solution to their pain, and here's why you need it, and then have all the proof and everything to back it up. And that's really the outline of it. You want to go headline, story with pain points. You're going to then show your product, and you can have a little bit of testimonials or case studies before you show your product. You're going to show your product, and then you're going to surround it with case studies and testimonials. So every time they're thinking, should I buy this? They'll see another thing, go, oh, here's Tommy or Susan or Bob or anybody, whoever it is. They bought it and they liked it, so it's going to work for me. And you have to ask yourself too, when you're building your funnel, why would this person not buy this? And if there's any reason, you need to fix that in your funnel. You need to answer that question. If they're like, oh, they might not buy it because it could be something as simple as they might not understand an exchange policy or something. You need to put that in the funnel, whatever it is. You need to walk them through, so by the time they get done, there's no questions.
Yes, definitely. So, golden nugget, guys. Mic drop, over delivery, value bomb, so many things done by Jeffrey. So, show your love to Jeffrey, and so I'm so grateful for your that much of value you deliver to my audience. So, before we wrap up the show, could you share what is the secret of success according to you?
What is the secret? I think it's probably different for everyone, but you need to have a almost crazy belief in yourself that you're gonna succeed. Like, no matter what anyone tells you, or whether what failures you have, that's just part of your journey. Realize no one gets there the first time without having hiccups or making mistakes. Very rarely does that ever happen. So expect it and realize that every failure gets you closer to success. If I told you right now you had to fail 10 times, and time number 11, you were going to knock it out of the park, how fast would you try and get to time number 11? As fast as possible. But that's the thing. People are scared. They're like, ooh, if I fail, what's going to happen? Guess what? You're one step closer to success. So try and fail faster. And that doesn't mean get reckless and just be like, I'm just going to go. No, you need to have calculated steps. But if it doesn't work, that's okay. That's not the end. That's just the beginning, my friend. That's just the beginning. And if you don't have any mistakes, you're not trying fucking hard enough. Excuse my language. Sorry. I didn't know if I cuss or whatever, but it's the truth. If you haven't ran into difficulty, then you're not trying hard enough. You need to push yourself harder. You're too much in your comfort zone, because only when you start hitting that resistance is when you're pushing, you're going hard enough, you're moving fast enough. Because if you're just
crazy,
you're gonna get the same results,
Yeah, crazy stuff. We have to learn from failure and move ahead for the next step. Super.
Yeah, don't be afraid to fail. Trust me, I've made so many mistakes on this journey, but As long as you realize that mistake and you're like, okay, don't do that again. Mistake. Don't, no. And you don't do it
Yeah.
again, you're fine. That's the whole point, is to learn from it. Life is about learning. It's not about being perfect. No one's going to ever be perfect. Ever. You can't be perfect. Stop trying. You know?
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Superb, superb. Like again, over deliver. Hashtag Bob, value bomb. Mic drop. Superb. So thank you so much once again, Jeffrey, for accepting my request and joining my interview show. I'm so grateful to have on this show, and you share tons of golden nuggets to me and my audience. So really thankful for you again. So
No
yeah.
worries. Yep. Hopefully you
So
guys found value of this. Hopefully it gave you some inspiration. Realize, man, it's been 5 years ago now, but man, I was so
oh
broke we
wow.
couldn't pay rent, and now I'm doing okay. So it can happen overnight. Just be ready. That's the thing too. Be prepared, because you never know when success is going to come knocking at your door. And if you're not ready, it'll pass you by. And that could have been your one shot. That you're not going to get a lot of shots in life. It's just the truth of it. You're not going to get a lot of shots in life. So be ready when it's time for that shot, because if time comes knocking and they're like, hey, whatever, I need my funnel built, and you're like, oh, I don't, whatever excuse, you're not ready, that could be your shot right there. That could be your Kevin David. Just think about that. Think about that. We would not be talking right now if, when Kevin did not reach out to me, I wasn't confident in myself. I never made $1 million funnel. I never charged someone $6,000 for a funnel. I never charged, when I got that 6,000 from Kevin, I had never charged that much. We talked and I'm like, well, what will he pay? I'm like, $6,000? And he's like, done. And I'm like, yes. I had never done that. Fail fast. You know what I mean? What if I'd been scared? What if I'd
Right,
been like,
right.
this is that guy Kevin David. He's got 2,000 views or 200,000 views on this video. I've never made a big funnel like this. We wouldn't be talking today. And it
Awesome.
literally
So
would have been
true.
the difference. It literally could have been the difference. I mean, now it's sort of funny because it's really sort of hitting me that we're talking about it for the first time now. But I've never really thought about it until now. And just thinking that, like, my life would be so different right now if I just had said no or had been scared. I mean, I was scared. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to, but that's part of the journey, man. So, interesting.
Definitely, definitely. Once again, thank you and for this much of our delivering value. Guys, if you are with us, show your love and show what is your biggest takeaway to Jeffrey and tag him. So thank you so much once again, Jeffrey. I'll be joining you in a minute. So yeah, before we wrap up the show, Happy New Year to you. We are just 3 days from New Year, so Happy New Year you in advance.
So,
I'll be joining you.
one
Yes,
last
yes,
thing,
yes.
going into 2022, just be kind to someone. There might be someone in your life that, like, did you wrong or something. Forgive them. I know that's not easy to say, but I had some stuff in this last journey in the last 5 years, my cat in the background, where I had people that did me wrong. Try and forgive them in your heart and just be kind to others. You never know what people are going through, man. You never know when that other person who's on your Zoom call and you're trying to close them on a funnel and they're being all short with you, and their mom could have just died for all you know, or whatever. I'm just saying, just be kind to others. Just go out there, man, and try and put out good energy, and it will come to you. I'm telling you. You do not understand that when you put out a certain vibration, it comes back to you. If you tell yourself every day that your life sucks, guess what? Your life's going to suck, man. But if you
Definitely.
tell
Yeah.
yourself, hey, it might not be the best right now, but I'm going to do everything I can to get out of this, to become better, to achieve that next level of greatness, and you keep striving, it will happen. It might not happen tomorrow. It might not happen next week, but it will happen. But you have to have the right mindset. I can give you a step-by-step plan from broke to a million right now. But if you don't have the right mindset, you will not be able to do it. Now, I don't care if I have it literally every step exactly detailed out. If you don't have the right mindset, you will find up some way to mess it
Mindset.
up. So you got to get the right mindset. Believe in yourself. That is the first step. If you don't think you can do it, you never will. But if you know you can do it, even if you're not doing it now, you eventually will. I promise you, you will.
Wow.
So sorry, that's my little rant before 2022.
No,
Just take that with some love, everybody, because that's it. I
no,
just
but
want you guys to be great.
this is true. This is true. The only people who win in the life, they are only who have a right mindset and who have a mindset for growing every single day, even though they are not getting result or even they are in the any kind of challenges. But they have a mindset, they are definitely become successful. Again,
100%.
thank you once again, Jeffrey, for sharing tons of golden nuggets with me and my audience. So really thank you. And I'll be joining you in just a minute. Till then,
Sure.
have a great rest of the day and happy new year in advance.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye. Bye bye. So here you go, guys. This is the Jeffrey M Banek, and he is sharing tons of golden nuggets. And I'm really so grateful for all of you who are still with us, with me on this live. I'm so grateful for all of you. So because you are still with me till the end. So and yeah, show your love to Jeffrey and join with his link as well. So hope you learned from this particular interview, and you, if you are someone who is still interested in the funnels, so I'll put all the related links in the description. And this offer is best because ClickFunnel only give 14 days free trial. So go and check the description and get the benefit of the 30-day free trial. Till then, Nilesh Jain signing off, and please make sure you subscribe to the channel. And yes, happy new year to you, all of you in advance. I'll be meet with you with another interview, another guest in the new year. So till then, bye bye. Have a great rest of the day.